Imagine with me, Honkai Star has just launched, and everyone is having a blast playing the game. Except for me. You see, the game is running and it seems alright, but it's only going at 1x speed, and I cannot handle that. My zoomer brain is just screaming, "This is not fast enough, please, where's the content, man?" I saw the 2x speed coming, but I couldn't cope. While everyone was out there farming materials and acquiring their seals, I rolled my eyes, called the game trash, and slunk back into the shadows. I had forsaken my precious waifu, Seal. Today, amidst the chaotic appearance of Jing Liu, the turmoil she has caused in the community for being so strong, I intend to rectify this mistake and possibly guide others to a salvation I may or may not even be able to achieve. This is why I will be skipping Jing Liu. And no, it's not that serious. It's a gotcha game, boys. All right, chill out. Also, yes, I'm totally aware that I may end up with egg on my face and I look like an even bigger idiot, but I'm going to leave that to the court of the comments to decide. So, now that the stage is set and we're prepared, let's get down to it. This is my account as of right now. According to the Great Oracle in the Sky, there will be an excellent synergy arising among mono teams. The most desired among the mono teams is Quantum, simply because of Silverwolf. I'm sure you've heard enough about this little monster, so we'll just leave it there. This hypothetical team has been discussed at length already, and with the information the Great Oracles have granted us, we are looking at an excellent future for them. What have these generous beings left us, you may be asking? Well, without getting into too much detail, let's just start hypothesizing, You kick some sand around, see what we uncover. Maybe we'll find a gem or two. Or maybe two planetary systems. Maybe two new sets. Possibly one set improving the capabilities of Seal almost as if it were made with her in mind. And for the other, I'm getting visions of. They're monochromatic visions. The intensity of a single color is getting stronger and stronger for every unit that adorns one of these pieces. What do these visions mean? Seems that Seal alone will experience her own growth and strength, but when complemented with her quantum allies, she will go even further beyond. As we talk about these effects, we will examine the ripple they produce down to each unit. Upon doing so, I think we'll get a clear picture of what is to come, for it has been divined. Start with Bronya. For the sake of conjecture, we're going to make her a quantum unit. Because what would the point of talking about a monoquantum team be if we didn't have a monoquantum team? In this iteration of Bronya, the contribution she makes to the team is pretty much going to stay the same, except for maybe we're a little bit more skill point positive. But there's not a whole lot to be said about Bronya, so let's just move on to Fujuan. Well, Fujuan Lycone owners are going to be eaten well. This is a more free-to-play friendly oriented channel, but I'm including this because at some point, if you already have your two favorite teams, it's totally okay if you just want them to be a little bit stronger, and part of making them stronger is actually going to be to get their Lycones. It just makes sense. It'd be odd to run Sprightly Von I don't know how to say it.
Sprightly Vonwek.
Oh, that makes sense. But if you were, you know that you don't really need an ERR rope anymore. Assuming you're also wearing the light cone. Well, what if that was your future? That's pretty hype. And even beefier food doing more damage for the same performance is crazy, as well as contributing to a greater overall amount of team damage. Also takes away some of the stress of having to acquire an ERR rope, because I know some people, they're struggling out there, okay? And some people are me, okay? I'm struggling here, okay? This makes the dream of a sub DPS Fu even more exciting because she will, guaranteed, still be able to complete her role of solo sustaining your entire team while pumping out that damage. And to wrap it up with Silverwolf, yeah, you know what? It's Silverwolf, dude. We don't care. You got the event Lycone, cool, bro. Moving on. Can you tell how done I am talking about Silverwolf? How salty I am having missed her premium Lycone? Man, Hoyo, please. Hoyo, please. Just rerun the weapon events, man, please. I'll do anything, please. Speaking of damage, how will Seal be doing? While remaining a little vague, let's try to hone in on achieving that 160 speed potential from Seal. To easily examine this, I'm going to use a damage calculator posted by another user on Reddit named Zika. They were kind enough to give me permission to use their tool to show some damage calculations, and it's actually kind of cracked. It looks really good, as you can see, and it's incredibly intuitive to use. It's also very up to date, so I highly recommend it to anyone and everyone that wants to do some calculations for themselves. There will be a link in the description below, and thank you again, Zika. What are we looking at here? We're going to be slowly looking at the big number on the screen, or, if you're curious, just the skill damage Seal is putting out. This is what a typical free-to-play Seal could look like, and for example, this is what mine would hypothetically look like. We're at E0, running Sleep of the Dead, Lycone, Max Traces, Quantum 4-piece set, Brutal Arena 2-piece set, and we have in our party 2 Fleet of the Aegis members, and that's it. The only other thing we're including is a speed buff granted from Seal Skill, as it's pretty necessary to do the napkin speculation we're doing. As you can see, we're doing about 13,901 damage on average, using Seal Skill. Now let's re-examine the numbers, taking into account the visions that we've been granted from the Great Diviner. We're now at about 16,139 damage on average, and this is taking into consideration that we're hitting 160 speed. This is about a 14% damage increase from these new sets, and I gotta say, it's looking pretty good. Here's some calculations showing what happens if you land all crits or during Resurgence. If everything goes as planned and I acquire my Mono Quantum team, I will have them all set up using this new piece relic set. And a quick disclaimer while I have you, things could very well change, the numbers can be off, or I can be an idiot and I could be doing the math wrong. I've double checked everything, so it seems all right, but at the end of the day, I'm still an idiot. Please cross-reference everything that I'm showing you and don't just take my word for it, although I do appreciate you having that much faith in me. But it's just good to fact check what's being put out, so please do so. This hasn't really gone as planned. Certainly, I thought, this would change things. Power creep isn't that bad, right? You see, Seal is going to make a mighty comeback all the way to the top of the DPS meters. That's what I thought. Unfortunately, this will not necessarily be the case. However, the fortunate reality is that it doesn't really matter that much. She's going to be able to clear everything anyway, just as she did before. That doesn't really stop free-to-play players from eating well. The team will certainly have a better autoplay experience than it does now, and likely greater than most others out there. Silverwolf won't be going crazy on SP because it's Mono Quantum. Fujuan now has her buff 100% of the time, up 100% uptime, same thing, nice, good job me. So we'll be eating all the SP, and everyone else will help generate it. Some other benefits are that we will be able to farm one world in SU for all of our needs. This one team is going to get completely juiced up in one location. That's pretty big value. I've spoken a lot about the pros of this team and the potential future, but now let's talk about the cons. First, we're setting up a Mono Quantum team. We're using the 2 best units in the game to accomplish this. Second, we're removing them and we're not even placing them in a team that does the most damage. That kind of sucks, but lastly, when we're building them using these new relics, the relics don't really work well with other teams, so you can't just take them out and put them into another location. It's not too great. So once we've committed to the Mono Quantum, we're kind of locked in a little bit. I still think the pros will outweigh the cons, especially over time. This team will definitely be able to meet all future content. I really do believe that. To reiterate, the biggest value will be found on autoplay and its ability to tackle most, if not every problem. This team is a jack of all trades kind of team, and those are my favorite. But if you can think of other cons, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. I'd love to know what other players are thinking, and they are cooking up themselves. As we draw this video to a close, I want to talk about why I wanted to put out this video. This one was for the weak of faith and fingers, desperate to extinguish their supply of stellar jades, tapping them all away. I was feeling awful about skipping Jingliu, so much so that I tempted fate and rolled up pity on her banner. It's a great sin, and it goes against all my teachings, but I am dumb. I am dumb. To be honest, I'm still kind of feeling bad about skipping her too. If I didn't have an alt account with her on it, I'd probably end up succumbing to this Ice Destruction Succubus. Fortunately, the power of the Mono Quantum effect, plus my alt, is, they're really holding my hand through these trying times. It's pretty tough out here, but I kind of like it. My choices feel pretty meaningful, and making a decision that will ultimately make me happy is pretty hype. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. I'm really happy that my other video got such an uptick in support. It got such a positive reception, so many people enjoyed it. But if you enjoyed this video or you found it helpful, maybe you can leave a like, maybe share it with a friend. I take the time to read all the comments, so feel free to leave one. I'll get to it. Only 2.2% of my viewers are actually subscribed, and I'm incredibly thankful to those who have taken the leap of faith on me and the content I put out. I'd like to increase that representation, so hopefully if you find my content enjoyable and I've earned it, perhaps you'll consider subbing. And that's all for me, so thank you all, and I'll be watching the comments throughout the day to answer as many of them as I can. See ya.